A one, a two,
1, 2, 3,
a
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Perfect.
Ba-da-da-da. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live, Laugh, Larry. It's the show where we can all get advice from my dad, Larry. Also, my name's McCary. How are you doing today, Dad?
I'm doing really well. Actually, it's really cool. I just got a call from an old hockey teammate of mine that we played together on a hockey team when we were like 15 or 16 years old. And the way I describe it, we laugh most of the time, and the odd time we have to change the subject so we don't cry.
Yeah.
Because it was that good. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I was looking at the old pictures of you guys, and you were a cutie frickin' patootie.
Oh,
Would you say the girls were obsessed with you?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I didn't make the big show, because I was so afraid of damaging my face. I didn't go in the corners.
I was like, where are you going with this? Did Grandma have to alter your clothes in any way?
Yeah, my mom. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I said, my mom.
I'm setting you up for dad jokes.
No.
I never thought I would do this.
No,
I'm actually asking you to tell the jokes that I've heard so many times.
Yeah, no, my mom sewed handles on the back of my pants so the girls could hang off me when I walked down the hallways. That's cool. Yeah, I think I told you that several times.
Yeah, I've heard it once or twice. And I guess for extra context, you left home at the age of 15 to go play hockey on a team in a different town. Yeah. And it was very fun. But do you have a very funny, what's the funniest memory?
God, there's so many. Some of them I can't talk about, but it was always the guys with the pearly white teeth that got them knocked out, and guys with big, crooked yellow ones like mine just got them chipped. But I still have my original teeth, but I can still remember guys one in particular, my buddy Dave, coming to the box, and his teeth had been chipped out, that perfect V, that goes right up to your gum and down like this, and he's with my teeth, with my teeth, and it was you knew the guy was in pain, and you knew that he was obviously worried that he'd lost both his front teeth, and he just sounded so funny I had to laugh, and I don't think he forgave me for a while after that for laughing at his lisp.
Okay, another memory. Any other funny ones?
Oh my goodness, hon. I won't name his name, but we'd be in the. There were a lot of characters, and he was a goalie, and goalies are a little eccentric. Yeah. And we had to wear blazers and jackets and things like that, dress up for the games, and when we traveled, and we'd go into hotel rooms, and he always carried an assortment of small screwdrivers on his inside pocket, the fancy pocket in there outside. And he carried, because he liked to take signs off doors, so he would steal.
That's so weird.
Oh yeah, no, he would take the sign off the bathroom door. I remember one time, and this is like the numbers off the door of the hotel. Like, he had an assortment of numbers that he collected. But I think
was he a psychopath?
Well, no, he's a funny guy. But I mean, we were 15, so this is all stuff. I would never recommend you do this. I mean, it's highly illegal. Yeah. But the one that got him a little bit of trouble was he went into the bathroom, and he took all the screws out of the mirror, and he took the big bathroom mirror and stood out on the deck of the hotel and started reflecting light into the oncoming traffic from the sunlight into the.
That's a terrible story.
What a brilliant idea to do it, but it's a terrible thing. I mean, he could have caused, and maybe he did cause accidents. I don't know, because the police showed up. Somebody had called the cops on him, and it wasn't funny at the time. It's funnier now.
Yeah, it's funny now that we know no one got hurt.
We were teasing him at the last reunion about the screwdriver collection that he kept.
That's funny to keep a pile of screwdrivers.
He's a bit of a kleptomaniac, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there was so many characters, and we had one fellow. His name, he's from Newfoundland. He had freshly arrived from Newfoundland. Yeah, I can't replicate his accent, but he said that he learned to skate onto Arbor. He dropped his H's. He learned to skate onto Arbor, and he said the worst day of his life was he got a breakaway and was gone for 2 days. Yeah, I thought it was that funny then too, That's and funny. The way he told it, he had that wonderful accent. Yeah.
So what's the most embarrassing story that you have from your hockey days?
Oh, I don't know.
What would they tell about you?
Like I said, we had to dress up for hockey, so we dressed up, and
In your
those
flannel,
oh,
what were they? The striped flannel flare
no,
jeans?
we had they were plaid.
Right, plaid.
And then of course the platform shoes with the round toes
Mm-hmm.
and a white belt.
Ooh.
And I know at one point I had a white bow tie.
Wow.
And I don't know, you call them seersucker, the shirts with the big lapels, and then the blazers that were bright green, and the hair. Like I had hair, and you comb it back. Oh yeah, I had copious amounts of hair. And I remember going to the rink early one night, and I was up for the game, and I arrived there, and the fellow that drove the Zamboni was a bit of a character. I remember walking in thinking I looked pretty darn fine, and he saw me. His name was Dick. He looked at me and he said, "Espy, you look like you're going to a pimp's funeral." And I thought, oh man, and I feel like I'm looking pretty good.
Yeah, big boot goofing.
Yeah. So it took kind of the fun out of my bow tie.
Oh. Did you go in the bathroom and take it off and throw it in the garbage?
Well, I don't know. I just remember thinking, well, I don't know. I don't know if I took it off or not. I think probably I was ready to let the rest of the guys on the team give a second opinion, but
yeah,
I don't know if I wore the bow tie again.
Aw, that's
anyway, no, there.
And since we're in the dad advice podcast, and we'll get to the questions in a second, but what was one of the biggest learning moments you had by leaving home early to go play hockey?
We had to learn to. We were representing the town, and they had expectations for us when we traveled, and so everything from shaking hands to sportsmanship to restaurant etiquette and behavior. Mm-hmm. I was very lucky to have coaches with expectations. Mm-hmm. We had a coach, and we'd have a long road trip at night, and he'd be at school the next morning to make sure we were there.
Yeah.
And so we had expectations, and I think, like I said, I owe hockey nothing. It was really good. I mean, we did some stupid things, and probably, we're a little cockier than we should have been sometimes, and thought we were a bigger deal than we actually were. And I hope that we were not as obnoxious as we could have been. But it was an interesting time, and for those that have left home. I don't know if I've been excited about my kid leaving home at 15 to play. But I know when you went to play, and you were in grade 12, how old were you when you left the Grand Prairie?
17.
Yeah, and I remember you, McCary, when you went to Grand Prairie to play club volleyball, and I remember thinking, oh, do you really want to do that? And you had a pretty easy comeback, Dad, didn't you leave 2 years younger than I am now? And so I really didn't have a leg to stand on.
Do you remember when this is a fond memory I have. Maybe this is the to prove that you're my dad memory. But so I graduated high school a semester early so that I could go play for this club team in a new town. It was just the team was more, I don't know. It was a bigger team. It was a stronger team. And so I didn't know if I was going to make the team. I had to basically train for it and do all my workouts, graduate early, so do all the coursework for that. And then I packed up and went to Grand Prairie, the big city, so I could do tryouts. And I had no idea if I was going to make the team or not, but I'd done all this work just to do the tryouts. And I do the tryouts. It was like, I don't know, a week or 4 days or something. I remember one girl puked because it was so hard. It was intense. Yeah. I remember at the very end, the coaches sat us all down in a big circle, and you and my high school boyfriend at the time were in the hallway, and I could see you guys peeking through the tiny window, the gym doors. And the coaches were calling groups of 3 girls up, and they'd tell them, they went off in the corner, and you could see the girls get all excited, and they were told that they made the team, and they came and sat back down in the circle, and they'd call 2 more girls up, and they all of a sudden look really sad, and they awkwardly pack up their bags and leave, and they're crying, and they leave, so they didn't make the team. Anyway, the coaches go through all of the girls. They never talk to me, and the whole time I'm looking at you and my high school boyfriend being like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Like what?
We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I was like, they forgot about me. This is so awkward. And the coaches start talking to the team, saying like, congratulations, everyone. Those of you who are still here have made it. I'm just sitting there mortified because I'm like, oh my God, I'm counting. I didn't make the team, and I just have to sit here and be uncomfortable because they forgot about me. And they talk for maybe like 20 minutes, and finally they go, because I was an out-of-town kid, it was like a 2-hour drive, and they go, so McCary, will you be able to make practices? And I was like, am I on the team? Like to the whole group.
That.
And the coaches were just like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We thought we told you, you made the team. And I just remember looking at you and my high school boyfriend and being like, oh my God, I did it.
No, I remember that.
But you guys had to sit in fear for quite some time.
Yeah, no, and you know from experience too, the team thing is, it's a special thing.
It's the best.
It's really a good experience.
Yeah. I think sports are to your point of having coaches with expectations of you and trying to live up to those expectations. It's like that classroom test that you told me about. It was with one teacher. I think this was a real situation.
It's the Pygmalion
Is it real?
effect. Well, it's that experiment has been done so many times. You're not even morally allowed to do it anymore.
Yeah. But the experiment where you have two teachers and you tell teacher A, hey, just so you know, this class that you have, they're all geniuses. You're welcome. Have a great year. And they told teacher B, just so you know, this classroom is full of troubled kids and good luck. And then sure enough, by the end of the year or the month or however long they were supposed to teach these kids for the experiment, the classroom where the teacher had higher expectations and higher beliefs in their students all did better than the kids who...
Where the expectations are lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's called the Pygmalion effect.
Very interesting.
It is interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah. And so you think about how that translates to one's home. And if
Yeah.
you have parents who... It's like theory X and theory Y for managers as well. It's like theory... I don't remember which is which, but theory X for managers is like they have the belief that all employees suck and they have to be micromanaged and nobody wants to work hard. Theory Y managers think that all employees are great, and if you reward them, they'll do good work, and people can be trusted. And it's just like, how your manager or your parent or your teacher, what they expect of you is kind of, you live up to those expectations.
Well, good coaches and good leaders, I think, is Peter Drucker, if you want to get academic. His line was something to do with, you align your strengths in such a way that your weaknesses are absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a hockey team. You can't count on one player.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have depth, and you need to have depth in, defense and offense and all those other things. So, a good leader recognizes that.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, we digress, but it's that is a cool part of playing for a team, especially when you have a good coach.
Do you have any horror stories of coaches? You don't have to throw anyone under the bus, but I mean, is there any, I don't know, horror stories of coaches?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a gym teacher who he was quite the character. He was from the States, and he'd played football. He was traditional phys ed teacher. Now you got to remember, this was in the 70s. So this was in the
70s or like 50s?
Yes.
Are you lying?
I know, this was the 70s. And he wasn't a big hockey fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd come back from for the last semester. I came back after hockey season. So I was a hockey player, and I was reasonably fit because I just come back, and I think he was kind of testing, we're going to see what you're made of. And it wasn't like he was mean or anything. It was just that he had expectations, and it was almost like he was watching me.
But what did he do? What's the story?
Just in terms of...
I don't care about the character of the guy.
I think my favorite one was we had to climb the rope.
Uh-huh.
And he did nothing but phys ed tests. We did a lot of testing. That's what it was to see who could do the most push-ups or climb the rope the fastest.
No dodgeball.
Yeah, we did some of that too, and it was like murder ball. I think there were little spikes on the ball. It was very traditional, but no, we had to climb this rope, and I was able to do it. Like I said, I was in much better shape in those days, and I'd gone up the rope, and when I got back down, he said, "You didn't touch the beam." So I go back up, and I didn't touch the beam again because I petered out, and slid down the rope, and I had my rope burned my hands and all this other stuff. And I get down, and he's sitting there with his feet up on a stool, and he's leaning. He's wearing cowboy boots and jeans, like he's an old cowboy from the States. But he's there, and he's got his marks book, and he goes, 0, SB, 0. And I remember kicking the wall, and I think I used a swear word, and he just thought that was funny.
Isn't it funny grading phys ed class?
Oh yeah, no, that could be a whole podcast about grading and phys ed, and how, when we had to put a number to every skill, and it turned kids off of sports rather than turn them on in many cases. Not all phys ed classes did that. Not all kids, because they're all different. But I know there were kids that were put off by, and just hated the thought of having to wear those shorts and T-shirts in front of all their friends. And, just, I don't know, I'd do it over again if I had a chance to go back.
Mm-hmm.
those are memories are so old. Those are old memories.
Well, you're pretty old.
I haven't taught phys ed since, let me see, 1985.
Yeah. What was it too? You were saying earlier today that there's a picture of you and your grandparents, and in the picture they're 53.
Yeah.
And you thought they were so old because you were a baby.
Yeah.
But then you realized
the kids that I taught the first year I was a teacher are as old as my grandparents were in that picture.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah. The kids you used to teach are now 53 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an eye opener.
Yeah.
You know, I started as a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
And so I had kids that were 11 and 12. So when you think about it, I'm 66. Those kids are 55.
Yeah.
They're seniors.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty soon they get to ride the ferry for free and
yeah.
go to Shoppers Drug Mart on half off Tuesdays.
Yeah. It's
Age. What a fickle thing.
I was just thinking with this age thing that when we were at our hockey reunion, sitting around a bunch of us, there were 65, give or take. And I did the math thinking when we were 15 years old, when we first met, and we were sitting around the table at the local Tasty Freeze or whatever it was we were at, laughing and joking.
Tasty Freeze. Sorry, pause. What's a Tasty Freeze?
It was like a Dairy Queen.
Wow.
But it was a Tasty Freeze.
How
Yeah.
old are you?
Yeah. No, it was cool. And great milkshakes. But anyways, no, if I was trying to imagine if we'd have been sitting at that Tasty Freeze, which we did, and had there been a group of 65-year-olds at the next table getting together to talk about their 15-year-old memories, they'd have been referring to things that happened in 1922.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
1922 is 4 years after
the First World War.
The First World War, 3 years after the Spanish flu. I mean, we're talking about, the ragtime dancing and the what do you call that? The Charleston.
Yeah.
Pre-Depression stuff.
Yeah.
You put it in perspective. Time goes by quick.
Time goes by quick. I remember as a kid, I actually thought, because you'd see black and white pictures, and I remember at one point you pulled out this sweater that you had as a kid and it was red, and I was so shocked because I just for some reason thought the world was in black and white.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was just a picture thing. So it's really cool now to see all those like the World War II in color movies and stuff, because it just really is eye-opening into I mean, I won't get super dark into how humanity's repeats itself and not great, but it's just, it really wasn't that long ago, and when it's easier to distance yourself from something when you see it in black and white.
Something is that old. No, it's an interesting time we live in.
Yeah.
No question.
Thank you for that walk down the hockey memory lane. I think now it's time. I think you have a game for us.
Yeah, you asked me the other day if I knew some millennial slang. Was it? Yeah. I was going to ask you a couple of boomer terms too. So when I say thong, what does that make you think of?
When you say thong?
Thong.
Thong, 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 thong. That's what it makes me think of. But I think also there's it's your shoe and a thong that goes on your butt.
Well, a boomer would say it's a flip-flop. Like that's what we call flip-flops. Those, the sandals where your toes. I don't like those. But anyways, what if I said skinny?
Yeah, it's a skinny person.
The skinny.
It's a game. It's what's the skinny? What are you up to? What's the news?
Yeah, the good. Yeah, the good. The skinny is what's the background? Like what's
use it in a sentence. Who says that?
Well, what's the skinny on that situation?
Have you ever said that in your life?
I say it all the time. Okay.
Hey, Mac, what's the
skinny? I may have said it once. Minutes ago. No, I looked it up. I couldn't find, I saw some boomer slang that I'm going, that's not really.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. Like, what's a cool cat?
You say cool cat.
I never say cool cat.
Yeah, I think every day you go, hey, morning, cool cat.
No, I don't.
What's the skinny?
Yeah, what's the skinny on that? Okay, how about this one? This is now I'm thinking back to my hockey memories. Winks.
Winks is someone's hitting on you.
No, it was as simple as winks is like, I'm kidding. Winks.
Winks.
Yeah, winks.
Winks.
I think that's the way it was said. Either that or I missed out on I responded the wrong way to whenever people said winks.
Yeah, people are bullying you. You're just like, winks. I'm in on it.
Yeah, little teaser. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's probably time we get to a question
let's
at least.
try one.
Although I'm trying this new thing. We're okay on questions. Nobody panic. We still have a few. Although please, 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 if you're considering sending in a question, please do that so I can sleep at night and not feel worried that this podcast is going to die by the lack of questions. But I'm trying this thing where we just talk to each other.
Do you think that would work?
Just us talking?
It's just us. You think so?
I think it could work.
Okay. Well, that's good.
You know, someone commented that it feels like they're having a coffee with us in the morning and just talking about life with two people. And
Right.
I really like that. I think that's fun. And I don't feel like we're spreading bad information or misinformation. I don't think what we're doing is hurting anybody. Okay, I think it's now time to get to at least one question today.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so this one is from Rita.
Hello, McCary and McCary's dad. My name is Rita from Morocco. I'm graduating high school in a couple of weeks, and this September I'm starting college abroad. The thing is that I've always been looking forward to it. Being independent, it all seems so fun. But now that it's actually getting closer and closer, and I feel like it's actually happening, I'm starting to feel more anxious. And I was just wondering if you guys had any advice for a rising freshman in college. Thank you so much.
I have advice.
Go for it.
I would say do the uncomfortable thing and go join clubs and join the intramural sports teams and do all the things that all the people say that you should do. Go to the party if you feel safe. You know, go do those things, because in my first year university, I was so sad and lonely and I just couldn't bring myself to go to any of the things except for one really awkward improv class that I went to, and it went so poorly. That's a different story for a different podcast. But I saw a really good comment on, I don't know if it was this podcast or if it was on my YouTube channel, but a comment saying that they go into all of their interactions just assuming that it'll be a fun experience for human interaction. And if they become friends after, that's a bonus. It's not you're going into the interaction expecting to be friends or hoping to make a friend. Because then you kind of set yourself up for failure a little bit. And I know that I did that in university. I went into interactions thinking, oh my God, maybe this would be my friend finally. And then when they ultimately weren't, I just felt really sorry for myself. So I think, take the opportunity to practice the art of human interaction and meet as many people as you can. And Dad always said to me, don't worry about getting the B if it means going out and seeing people. It's a lot better than getting the 99.9% grade in the class and having no friends. Depending on what your goals are. If you want to be a doctor, maybe not. But to go back, I had really good grades in high school. And when I went to university, for a plethora of reasons, I was sad and lonely and all those kind of things. And it was a big move. And I didn't have mom and dad at home and no friends. But my grades, I remember, dropped quite a bit. And I was shocked because I was still trying just as hard. So I guess also just be prepared for grades to fluctuate in ways that you might not be expecting, and that's super common. Not everybody, but a lot of my friends, we all were kind of shocked at, university is harder than high school. I shouldn't say harder, it's just different. So there's just different ways to study. There's different ways to prioritize your time, and I don't have any concrete advice on how to study or prioritize, but it's just be ready to be flexible and just know that you're not stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe not the right word, but just know that you're not nothing's wrong. It's just different.
Yeah. And if I can, I'll add and this is an old guy's comment, and it's probably you'll recognize it as one. Enjoy it as much as there's the angst right now and you're worried about it and how am I going to do when you look back, when you finish it. And you look back, especially as you get older, my age, and I look back at my college years, some of the most fun I had, some of the best friends I had, some of the best times I had were when I was in university. And I had no money, and we had, it wasn't like we did all kinds of fun things, but we socialized and we laughed and we were homesick together and we studied together and formed some really great friendships. Yeah. And so I think you'll look back on it and you'll forget that you ever were really anxious about
Yeah.
going forward with it.
Yeah. I know I talked about it in a previous podcast, but I'm so happy I didn't give up. Maybe give up's not the right word. I'm very happy that I didn't give up after my first semester. After it being so hard and horrible, because very similar to you, I had some of the best memories ever and made some really great friends who I arguably could keep in touch with a lot better now. But we're all now off living our lives, trying to do all of our own things. But yeah, I'm still in the same city or town that I went to university in, and there used to be a big bar called The Canoe, and all of us would go there on Thursday nights and have fun and sing and drink and whatever. And recently it's under new ownership, it's a new name, and I remember I just went back there the other day, and I could see I was with Jackson, and a car pulled up, a taxi, and a bunch of university students filed out of it for their Thursday night party. Even though it's under new ownership, they still have the music and whatever. And I just felt, I think the word is melancholy, because I'm really happy with where I am in life now. I feel good. I'm really lucky and I love my life. But I just had a moment where I was like, wow, those days are gone. I'm never going to be in university again. And I know you're a very thoughtful, maybe melancholy at times guy, and I always poke fun of you for that. And I was like, wow, I can't imagine. I'm only 26 and I'm feeling like I had glory days. I can't imagine being 65 and looking back on all the memories.
Well, the bar I went to in college, I think it's a museum now.
The Larry Espy Museum.
It's a heritage site.
Yeah. Yeah. They can't make any updates to it. They have to go through the government.
Yeah, they can't change it.
Yeah. Fair.
No, it's
but
it's a long time ago.
Yeah, but good advice. University's great. I think you got anything else to say to that, Dad? Other than
no, I have to admit I'm envious, Rita.
Me too.
I'm envious that to be going into I don't know if it's a new city for you or and new teachers and new classes and new tech or new notebooks, and you got your new pencil
very exciting.
case.
New day planners.
There you go. You got your new day planner, and I think it's just I'm envious. I think that's really cool.
Dad, if you could go back to school for anything, what would it be?
There's a concept called social constructionism.
Do tell.
It's just the concept that we co-create things as a society, and relationships are important, and words are important. Words make worlds. Like there's just the power of words, and anyways, I don't know if it's a whole course, but it's a neat topic, and you can.
Maybe you could teach it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to make it up.
Yeah, fair. All right. Well, I think that's it. That's all we have for you, Rita. Good luck. This was a question I think sent in via the Google form that I have, so I don't even have Rita's email to say thank you and reply. I didn't think that through, so just really big time thank you for sending that in, Rita, and
especially all the way from Morocco.
All the way from Morocco. Yeah, so cool.
That is really cool.
But yeah, so thank you so much, Rita, for that. And yeah, I think we only have time for one question today because we blathered so much. Hopefully that's okay with
telling hockey stories.
Yeah, telling hockey stories. Hopefully that's okay with everybody listening. Kind of like always, if you enjoyed that, let us know in the comments. If you didn't, let me know privately on Instagram or email. It's now time for a final segment, Larry Loves, plus things that McCary likes too. What do you love right now, Dad?
Do you know what I love? That at the end of the day, when we sit down to watch the ball game, there's something about that I never did before, where felt that I didn't feel guilty sitting down to watch a full game. But now that, your mom and I can watch it together, and we skip the commercials, and you get to know the players and their idiosyncrasies. And for the first time, I actually feel like a baseball fan.
Yeah.
And I really like the Blue Jays. It's they're a neat group of guys. And
who's your favorite?
Well, it's hard not to like Vladdy and Bo, but I think I like Danny Jansen. Danny Jansen is one of the catchers.
I like Kirk.
You can't not like Kirk.
He's such a cute little guy.
No, like I said, they're all just young guys doing their very best for several $1 million. And what is it you're loving these days, McCary, Kim?
I'm loving. Last night we just watched, what is it? I Am, the Celine Dion documentary. I did not know how I knew Celine Dion's awesome. I know who Celine Dion is, but I didn't know how awesome she is.
I mean, the voice is that's an
my
instrument beyond compare.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have time for. How do you think we did, Dad?
I don't know. We talked a lot.
We did talk a lot.
In
I'm
fact,
fading. I'm a little tired.
and I think I'm hoarse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why the long face?
Well, yeah.
I haven't talked to you this long in
Yeah.
donkey's years.
It's been a long time.
I'm quite sick of you.
You're gonna get over it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good again. I am over it.
I was hoping you'd go home tonight instead of tomorrow now.
Yeah.
No.
Whatever.
No, this is awesome. I'm glad you're here.
All right. Well, to close things off, I want to send the two of us and whoever's out there listening out into the world with a task. And this week's task is to organize something. It can be your closet. It can be a drawer. It could be the shoes at the front of your house, in the entryway. Just take a before and after picture. It's satisfying. You don't have to share it if you don't want to, but if you do feel so inclined, please share it on Instagram and tag us at livelaughlarrypod. Huh?
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm not good at organizing, especially things like albums and pictures and stuff, because I end up just looking at them.
Yeah, but that's good too. I think you can be gentle with yourself for that. It's good to
Okay.
be fond of memories.
All right.
Just don't get stuck there too long.
No, exactly. Okay, I'll organize something.
Yeah, you can do it. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star review. And if you're watching on YouTube, hi. Also, please like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part. It will really help us keep this podcast going. It'll make us feel good about ourselves. And that's pretty much it. Other than if you are in need of some dad advice, please send in your questions. It could be a video or audio recording. Or if you're really nervous in front of the camera, it can be a written message, and I can read that out as well. There's a link in the description for a Google form, or you can send it to livelaughlarrypod@gmail.com.
Perfect. And thank you for listening, Debbie Ma.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, Mom. See you soon.